Hello, I'm Catherine. Welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to do a foundation review. I'm going to be reviewing this new Physicians formula. It is their Butter Believe It foundation and concealer in one. I haven't seen many people talk about this, but I love Physicians formula as a brand, and I loved the healthy foundation that they had, which is very difficult to find now, so obviously they're phasing it out. And I thought, well, I'd really like to try this. This is what Ulta has to say on their website about it. They say, indulge in this ultra luxurious foundation and concealer infused with a powerful blend of Murra butter, Cacao butter, and Takuma butter from the lush, nutrient-rich Amazon. This has an incredibly creamy texture that melts onto the skin, leaving a natural, radiant glow, while the long-wearing, weightless formula provides buildable coverage. It is long-wearing, weightless, and buildable coverage. I will tell you, it says to shake the bottle before each use, which is pretty normal. The reviews on this, and there's only 6 on Ulta right now, but it has 2 stars. So I'm a little scared after seeing that, but I've ordered this and I thought we would give this a go, and I will do a wear test on this. So I'm gonna apply this and let you watch me apply it. We'll see what we think of our first impressions. And then I'll go ahead and put on the rest of my makeup and come back, let you see that. Then I'll come back later tonight and we'll see how long wearing and buildable and all those good things that it is. I'm going to be using just my handy Morphe 2 kind of angled kabuki brush. I am in the shade Fair to Light, which is the second to lightest shade, and it has a nice little pump. It does have a tropical smell, which all the butter products have some sort of a smell like that. So I'm just going to start placing it around the face. I'll bring you in just a little so you can see better. I always like to kind of start with a small amount and then add with a new foundation. The color seems good. The undertone is definitely good. Now, one thing I am going to do, because this claims to be a concealer as well, is I'm actually going to use it as a concealer and not use a separate concealer. And we'll see if we think those claims are accurate. My recommendation for all over 40 skin gals and guys is to always start with a small amount of foundation and build up, because that can settle right into fine lines and wrinkles. This has done a pretty nice job. I still have some left on my hand, and it's definitely given me good coverage. I'm going to dip into the rest, just kind of dispense that on my brush, kind of go in some of the areas that I need more coverage, around the nose and the chin, and then on my sunspots. And I'm just kind of patting that in right now. I don't feel like I need to add any more of the product. It feels nice. The scent to me is not overwhelming, but the butter formula scent doesn't bother me, like in the bronzer or in the blushes. So I can just lightly smell it still on the brush, but I'm not smelling it on my skin. It's not lingering. I'm going to check in the close-up mirror. It's not settling, but I definitely can see it on the skin, but not too bad. It may be a little bit light for me right now. I could probably go to the light shade and that would be good, but I do like the undertone, which to me is really more important, because I can always warm things up with bronzer and that's never a problem. The undertone is perfect for my skin though, and it feels nice. It definitely feels nice. I have a little sponge. I'm going to put just a little bit extra on my hand, and I'm going to actually put just a dot like I would normal concealer under my eyes and see how this works as a concealer as well. See if these claims are accurate. Well, it's definitely given me decent coverage there. And it went on pretty seamlessly with the sponge. I'm going to take the excess and kind of go over my lids as well to kind of blank out the veins in my lids. That works pretty nicely. This has definitely blanked out my skin. It's not looking cakey. I definitely can see it on the skin though, but I'm not feeling it. It's a little tacky, but not too much. Really not bad. I mean, it's not like blurred my pores. I can still see my pores around here, but it has definitely evened out my skin. It has settled a little bit. I can see around the mouth lines, but not horrible. I'm not wearing a primer or anything, just my regular skincare and SPF. I didn't want to put on any type of primer, but maybe this works better with a primer. I don't know. But so far, not too bad. I will let you know. I'll come back once I have my makeup on. I'll let you see that. We can see what we think, and then I'll come back at the end of the day to do a check-in. Okay, I'm back with my makeup on, and the makeup went on really well. I will look close up. I'm seeing a little bit of dryness around my nose, which is really typical this time of year. Not as much on my chin. It is settling in a little bit. Not too much though. Overall, I think it looks pretty good. I did go ahead too and I purchased the Physicians Formula Setting Mist, the Skin Mist. This is their Mura Mura Butter Setting Spray. If you don't like the fragrance, you're not going to like this. It definitely has that kind of a tropical smell, and I do think it helped to kind of settle the powders down a little bit. And the spray is okay, not the best. Here, I'll show you. Let's see if you can see. Pretty misty, but it's pretty big droplets. I like really fine droplets. My favorite is the L'Oreal. The one favorite from the drugstore is the Shake and Glow. Look at this. It's that longer spray. I feel like the droplets are smaller and it just kind of settles really well. This is a little bit chunkier. You can see it's that kind of chunkier. So I don't know that this is going to be my favorite. And the smell is a little bit bothersome in this. Didn't bother me at all in the foundation. But so far so good. We'll see. I will come back in later and we can check in at the end of the day and see how this is worn. Okay, it's time for my final check-in with this Physicians Formula Butter Believe It Foundation and Concealer. And overall, I feel like it is worn pretty well all day. I haven't done any touch-ups. When I look in the close-up, it is a little bit dry on the chin, but not much. There's not a lot of flaking or pilling. A little dryness around the nose, but I saw that immediately. So, I don't think that has gotten any worse. And overall, it's definitely stayed a decent medium coverage. It's come off some on my nose, which is very normal, but not fully. And the makeup has stayed in place all day, which I don't know if that is also attributed to this setting spray, which I did use as well. I don't know. Overall, I feel like this is a good medium coverage foundation. It hasn't been too drying. It's a little bit drier than I think I would have liked. I would have liked for them to go even a little further towards a more hydrating foundation. But for the most part, I'm pretty pleased with this. It didn't seem to settle too much into any wrinkles or fine lines. And it was a nice, just, I think probably a semi-matte finish. It wasn't dewy or radiant at all, but a nice semi-matte. My color, I think, was just a touch light for me. I think if I got this again, I would go up one shade. Again, I'm in fair to light. I think I would just get the light, which is, I think, the third one up. But overall, I would give this a good grade, and I'd say it's worth trying. I'm not sure why the reviews are so bad. I will say, if you do not like fragrance in any of your products, don't buy this. Don't buy anything in the butter formula, Physicians Formula line, but there is a smell, and I think that's what most people didn't like about it. It's very tropical smelling. It does not last, and it didn't bother me, but I can see how some people were very much bothered by that. But I think all in all, this is a good foundation. When I compare it to other foundations at the same price point. It's not quite as good as those, for example, like the Loreal Pro Glow, or even just L'Oreal Infallible Fresh Wear, or the Colourpop Pretty Fresh foundation, I think is better than this one and the same price point. But overall, a good foundation, better than a lot of the ones that I've tried at the drugstore. I will try this out in other situations, but I'm pretty pleased with the way this wore. I hope this review was helpful. And if you have any other particular reviews that you'd love for me to do, please let me know down in the comments. I hope you have a great day and hope to see you again soon.